Emma walked through those doors smiling. She was still smiling when she saw Marcus. She stopped smiling when she saw Patricia. And when she saw the county officer standing beside Dorothy's nurse, she went completely white. I had timed my entrance so that I was already inside when Emma arrived. I was standing beside Marcus in the small conference room just off the main corridor, the one the facility uses for family meetings. Emma had been directed there by the front desk. She thought she was meeting me for a paperwork question. She walked in expecting her sister and found a room full of people she did not know, and me standing at the far end of the table with my hands folded and my face completely calm. She said my name. Just once. Cara. In a voice I had never heard from her before. Something between a question and a confession. I said, "Sit down, Emma." She sat. Marcus handled most of the speaking from that point, which was intentional. This was not a confrontation. It was a meeting. A legal, documented, witnessed meeting. Marcus explained what had been found. The forged document. The spoofed email. The impersonation visits. The forensic signature analysis, which had confirmed definitively that the signature on the amended estate document was not mine. Patricia explained the elder law implications. The county officer explained what a formal report would involve. Emma cried. Of course she did. Emma has always been a beautiful crier, the kind that makes people want to comfort her. She looked at me through tears and said she was sorry, that she had not meant for it to go this far, that Ryan had pushed her into it, that she had been struggling and she had not been thinking clearly. I listened to all of it. I did not move. I did not reach for her hand the way I would have done in any other version of my life. I just listened. And then I said the only thing I had prepared to say directly to her. I said, "I know you have been jealous of me for a long time. I think I knew it before I was ready to admit it. But I need you to understand something. There was never a version of this where taking my life gave you yours. You had your own. You just did not want it as much as you wanted mine." She cried harder. I felt something move through me and then settle. Not satisfaction exactly. More like the closing of a door. Ryan was dealt with separately. Marcus had sent a formal letter to Ryan's home address the previous day, which Ryan had received that morning. The letter outlined what we knew, what we could prove, and what the legal exposure was for his involvement in document fraud and elder financial abuse. Ryan had called Marcus's office within 2 hours of receiving it. His response was not defiance. It was negotiation. He wanted to know what cooperation looked like. Marcus told him. Ryan signed a full statement that same afternoon. He named the document forger. He provided records of every communication he had with Emma about the scheme. He confirmed the timeline. He did it quickly, which told me everything I needed to know about who Ryan Holt really was when things stopped being easy. I called off the wedding that evening. I sent a single message to the venue, to the caterer, to the florist. I did not send a message to our guests yet. That could wait a day. What could not wait was sitting down with my mother, who came over that night with food I did not eat and stayed until 2 in the morning while I told her everything. My mother is a quiet woman. She does not perform her emotions. She sat across from me and she listened, and at the end she said, "I am sorry I did not see it." I told her she had nothing to be sorry for. Neither of us had seen it, because we had not wanted to. Because wanting to see it would have meant losing something before we were ready. 3 days later I went to see Dorothy alone. Just the two of us. She was having a good day, one of her best in weeks, and we sat by the window in her room and she held my hand and called me by my name. My real name. She said, "You look tired, sweetheart." I told her I had been through something hard but that it was over now and everything was going to be all right. She patted my hand and said, "You always land on your feet." And I thought about Emma using those same words in a text message to Ryan. "She will be fine." Said as a dismissal. Said to minimize me, to make me small enough to step over. But Dorothy meant it differently. Dorothy meant it as the highest thing she could say about me. "You always land on your feet." Said with 60 years of watching our family survive hard things. Said with love. I let myself cry then. Quietly, so Dorothy would not worry. I turned toward the window and I cried for the sister I thought I had and the fiancé I thought I knew and the version of my life I had been planning so carefully for so long. I cried for all of it. And then I stopped. And I stayed. The estate documents were restored to their original form. Dorothy's wishes, her real wishes, were protected. The formal report was filed. The legal process is ongoing and I have been advised not to speak in detail about where it stands, but I will say that both Emma and Ryan are aware of the full weight of what they did and the full weight of what comes next. Emma and I have not spoken since that conference room. I do not know what that relationship looks like going forward. I do not know if it has a going forward. I know that I am not ready to answer that question yet, and I have decided that not being ready is a complete and acceptable answer for now. What I know is this. I am still here. I am in my own apartment now, one I chose and signed for by myself, with coffee mugs I picked out alone and a calendar on the wall with nothing circled in red. I have a lawyer I trust and a grandmother who knows my face and a mother who stayed until 2 in the morning and a version of myself that I did not know existed until the night I picked up a phone I was not supposed to look at. They thought I was the soft one. They thought warmth was the same as weakness. They were wrong about that. And now they know it. And I am, in fact, completely fine.